compliance, convictions, capitulation, and consequences. Hey everybody, this is Michael with Asymmetrical Preparedness. There's a lot of things going on in the world today. Here in Washington, starting on Monday, August 23rd, if you are a state worker, a healthcare worker, anybody that works in the education system, higher education and lower education, anything associated with those things, anybody that works on those structures, those grounds, those properties, anything of the sort, you have to show proof of being fully vaccinated. So if you're one of the people that choose not to be because God gave you free will, and that is your choice, what are the consequences? First off, you have a decision to make, whether to comply or not. If it is your conviction, your belief to not get vaccinated or to not do anything that somebody else wants you to do because you have free will, you have free will. It is your choice. Or do you capitulate? Do you give in? Do you roll over? And are you ready for the consequences of that? Are you ready to lose your job? How are you going to feed your family? If you're prepared, you might still be able to do that, but how are you going to pay the bills? Are you all talk and no action? Are you going to stand up for your beliefs, for your convictions? Or are you going to capitulate, roll over? Consequences. What are the consequences of your decision? Well, the consequences are you go against your convictions, your belief structure, which damages you here, your heart, your soul, who you are. What are the consequences of capitulating if you don't capitulate? If you do, or if you don't. Sorry, I got confused there for a second. You lose your job. That's serious, people. Are you all about being a keyboard warrior, talking big on the internet, while rolling over in your private life? Or are you willing to make a stand? Are you willing to stand for what you believe in? It's a valid question. It's free will. I'm not telling you to get the jab or to not get the jab. I'm just talking about the fact that it's a choice that's coming down that some people have to make. The deadline's somewhere in like October or something like that. People have some serious decisions to make. Like I said, I'm not trying to skew you either way or the other because it's your free will. But if you have been preparing all along, and if you are still preparing, you may be in a situation where you can stand by your convictions. You can stand by your beliefs, what you feel is right or wrong. And you can say, no, I'm not doing it. But be ready for the consequences. They'll be harsh. It's coming down. It's coming down to the point where we have to make decisions, personal decisions based on our own free will. Each individual has to make. And what the consequences are going to be. Are you ready to live outside of society? What happens if that is your conviction to not get the jab and you have to have a vaccine passport to buy groceries or to get medical care? What are you going to do then? Are you ready? Are you prepared to live completely outside of society without all these things we normally have? Gas stations for fuel, grocery stores for groceries, medical, all these things. Are you ready? Most people aren't, even if you're a prepper. Most people are not ready for that level, to completely exist outside of society, of societal structure. Even those that are very prepared, that are hardcore preppers, it will be difficult. It would be difficult, definitely. So, all this stuff being said, what do you do about it? Well, easy. Easy, not easy. Do everything you can to be prepared. If you're going to make a stand, you got to be well equipped to make a stand. Because if something happens, and say some natural disaster or something like that, and FEMA comes in, the government, whatever, proof of vaccination to get help, that may be coming down the pipe too. And I know there's sides. There's people that are totally pro-vaccine. There are people that are totally anti-vax. And then there's a bunch of people in the middle. People like me that believe in just a straight up free will. It's your choice. But there's a lot of other stuff coming down the pipe also. There's a lot of other things to be aware of and to be getting ready for. We're talking about big collapse a lot of times, societal collapse, as prepper channels talk about that kind of stuff all the time. In a big collapse situation, you'll be in the same situation. You'll be trying to exist outside of society. So are you ready for that? Do you know how to forage, hunt, fish, trap, grow your own food, raise your own animals? How much food storage do you have? Good question. One of my subscribers brought up a good point when I was talking about gardening. Like you're putting your preps, your food storage, things you like to eat. You don't put in things that you won't eat in there. Well, growing your garden and growing things you don't necessarily eat, you may want to do that, actually, because if you have animals, the stuff you don't eat, they will. If you only grow stuff you eat, then you'll have to feed the animals to supplement their food with stuff that you can eat. Thus, it affects your ability to eat and or your mental capacity saying, oh my gosh, I have to give up my food for the animals. But there are food also. So you can go that route also. But you can grow, if something you don't like will grow really well in your area, then maybe think about growing some. Kind of off to the side, maybe. If it grows so well that you kind of just plant it off to the side, then do that for your animals. Think about all these things. Goods like shirts, boots, all the things you can't make. Have extras of. Be ready for, just like we think about long-term collapse scenario. That's what would happen if, say, you're in one of the fields where you have to get jabbed and your conviction says no. And then you make the choice to stand by your convictions. There will be dire consequences. Hopefully not as dire if you're prepared. This is why I've been talking for over 2 years now here on YouTube, and many, many, many years before that to people in person, and why a lot of other channels are out there doing the same thing. I don't spend all my time making videos, preparing for videos, stuff like that, to make money. Trust me, I don't make very much money from this. Not that much at all. Not even close to how much I need to survive. So I don't do it for the money. Yes, it helps a little bit, of course. Would I like to grow that? Yes, definitely, because it'll help my family out. It'll help me in my ability to provide for my family. So of course, yes, I want to do that. But I mainly want to get through to you guys, to people out there, to everybody watching this video, to those that haven't. By the way, if they haven't, share the videos, please. Also commenting, hitting the thumbs up, subscribing. All these things help out the channel, so I really appreciate it. And Patreon is out there also. That helps me out also to survive, take care of my family. Links in the description below. We talk about security, defensive-related stuff like that all the time there. Also, one of my favorite, since I'm on the topic, we're talking about long-term food storage and stuff like that, getting ready for being able to stand on our own. Long-term food storage. One of my favorite companies out there is My Patriot Supply. Links in the description below for 25% off via my website. It's preparewithap.com or something like that. It's links in the description below. And yeah, I get a little percentage also. And that's nice because it helps me and it helps you get good quality foods. I have a bunch of stuff from them. We've been testing out stuff like that. So far, thumbs up. I know them to be a good company. I'm not just pushing their products at all. It's your choice. It's your free will. But it is good stuff. Like I said, you get 25% off if you use the link in the description below and go to my webpage that they built for me and order stuff like that. They have a good selection. It's well prepared. It is well stored, and it will last a long time, 25 plus years at least. Good stuff there. That's a good way to add to your food storage. We're going to be ordering more from them very shortly so that we're upping our game. And yes, we buy, we use, we store their products. It's a good company that I believe in. That's why I agreed to work with them. And yes, like I said, I do get a little bit of money from it, a percentage. I forget what it even is. But anyway, if your plan is to stand by your convictions, whether it's anti-vax or whatever issue you feel is coming down the pipeline, you have to be ready to exist outside society. And that is a big undertaking, a lot to be asked of you. So please do everything you can. I would much rather have people standing by their convictions than capitulating, rolling over, and just doing what the government asked me to do. I don't believe in that. I believe in free will. I believe in following rule of law, of course. But we got to stand by our convictions. It's ready to stand. It's time to stand. You know, you got to be ready, willing, and able. Remember, all your food storage, all your preparedness, all that stuff is your emergency fund. Have ways to replenish your emergency fund. I love you guys. Thank you guys for being here. Have a wonderful day, and blessings to you and yours.